Miscellaneous BDN is where I answer life advice questions sent in by you, the loyal listener. If you have a question for me or a story that you think I would enjoy, send it through to podcast@lewspears.com, lewspears.com. Make sure you summarize it in the subject line or I will not read it. Here we have this. Girl I'm dating admitted to being a financial dominatrix. That sounds expensive. Hey, Lewis, I loved your show in Melbourne. Thank you, mate. I'll get straight into it. My name is Tom. I recently started dating this new girl. We've been on a few dates, and all in all, it's gone pretty well. We went out for a drive and ice cream a few days ago and chatted for a good hour or two. Towards the end of the night, the conversation steered towards previous relationships, and my date brought up that she had/still is sort of acting as a financial dominatrix for men she's met online. That is to say, she would sext with them and tell them when and where they could masturbate. Apparently, these guys were into being treated as sissies, which is how she described it, and she wouldn't let them finish unless they sent her money or bought her things. Right. At least she's being upfront early in the relationship. How long you started dating this new girl? You've been on a few dates. Okay, so it's not like super serious. That's good that she told you. That's up to you whether you can deal with that. This was obviously a shock to hear from a girl I was seeing, especially given it was a third date. That's not, I think, good on her. Third date is probably a good time. It's not a first date. I don't know if it's a second date. It's a third date conversation. I rate that, actually. But I obviously had to know more, so I questioned her further on it. She admitted that in the past she had sex with a guy she met online for money, but that she hadn't done so with the two people she was sort of currently still treating as cash pigs. Apparently they had run into some financial trouble recently and were not as keen to pay the usual treatment due to COVID. Yeah, I mean, it hit us all hard, didn't it? You know? It hit all of us very hard. My business suffered. I couldn't sell tickets. I'm sure this woman's business suffered. She couldn't get men to come for cash. Did she get JobKeeper, Cumkeeper? But she had swapped nudes and sexted with them. For free? Come on. Here's a real basic principle of business. People don't get addicted. No, wait. People get addicted to discounts. They don't get addicted to free. That's the rule. Okay, look, that's fine then. Free sample. We've all been there. But she had swapped nudes and sexted with them. She did say, however, that one of them had paid her to come to her house and clean her room while she watched and insulted him. Oh, he paid her money for the privilege of cleaning her house while she watched and called him a pussy. Dude, give him my number. My house is a mess. I would love to... I mean, isn't it funny that James Charles is getting cancelled for this behavior? Whereas this guy is paying for the privilege of being insulted while he does his job. James Charles needs to connect with these people. The people who would love to pay him to shave his ass and then get called the N-word while they do it. I'm not the type to think less of someone because of their fetishes, but I'm not really sure how I feel about this girl now. The night ended fine. The conversation sort of drifted off to a different topic. She said she was still actively trying to get more money from these guys. Oh, so she's not giving it up. Obviously, I would not be okay with her meeting up for sex with them, but if she was just sending dirty texts and getting paid bank, that might be fine with me, ? I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about her sending nudes. That might cross the line, but outside of her extra income stream, she's a really cool girl. What are your thoughts, Lewis? How would you approach this situation further, and would you be okay with your partner sexting other men if she was making mad cash? Have a shit one, Tom. For me, absolutely not. No, definitely would not be okay with that, and I wouldn't stand for it, and I wouldn't be able to date someone like that. But that is me. It's a tough one because the reality of it is whether or not she is meeting these men, getting in a relationship with her is and does invite these men into your personal life, even if they don't know you exist. It's bringing that into your life. That's what you need to think about. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, yeah, if my girl's sexting other people for money, I guess that's fine. It's another thing to sit there on the couch watching Netflix and she goes, oh, 1 second, I got to send a message, I got to do some work. And you're just like watching her sext. Do you know what I mean? Like, the reality of it is so much more confronting and real, obviously, than the idea of it. The idea, anyone can be okay with the idea of something. Oh, an idea of an open relationship sounds fun. I can fuck whoever I want, she can fuck whoever we want, but we love each other. The idea of it sounds great. The reality of it is not the idea of it. The reality of it is sitting there and watching your girl sex some other dude for like, you know, $100 or maybe some lingerie delivered via Amazon. I wouldn't be okay with it. I wouldn't be able to, I would never get myself in a situation where that would ever be a question. If it was me, I would go, hey, thanks so much for telling me. You're an awesome girl. I'm not okay with this. I'm not judging you for it, but it's not for me. Bye. I would not, I personally, I would not go, if you want to date me, you have to stop doing that. Because if she really, really doesn't want to stop that, that will lead to resentment. So you either need to be okay with it or not okay with it. There's no like, oh, you got to stop it for me. You either move on or you invite that into your life. And I feel like, I don't have any experience with this, but I feel like the reality of being with someone who is sexting other people would be so different from the idea of it. It's not just a message from your point of view. Do you know what I mean? That's my thoughts on it. I wouldn't be cool with it. Maybe you are. You need to have a real think and figure out whether or not you're cool with it. And how, what does that look like long term? Like, because if it truly is a business, is she going to scale this shit? Is she going to turn into like a really high paid one with lots of clients? Like, I feel like if you really want to, if you're looking for a relationship, you need to play this out in your mind where if this is her main hustle, she's going to have more than 2 guys. Because I feel like, look, if it was a side hustle that she was doing for a bit of extra cash, I'd be like, yeah, cut that shit out if you want to be with me. If it's her main thing, you have no real right to say, cut that out because that's her career. That'd be like someone going, I'll only date you if you're not a comedian. I'll be like, yeah, cool, see ya. If it's her main thing, you need to think about, well, fuck, what does this look like if it scales? What if she now starts making insane amounts of money from this, but she's also really busy? What does that look like? Does she have a public profile? Will everybody know that I'm the guy with the financial dominatrix girlfriend? Will my family be cool with that? Will that fuck with my head if they're not? What will my friends think? Will there be images of her online? Do you know what I mean? Like that's, I feel like that lifestyle is something that you need to be so fucking on board with and 100% okay. There needs to be no doubt in your mind at all or it won't work. That's what I think. If there's any doubt at all, that's just not working because that thought, oh, she's missing someone, that's going to be there forever, the remainder of your relationship, and that's going to kill it. That's what I think.